Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. Julian here for another Drops episode. This one for week 24, which is either your first or second week of the fantasy playoffs. So it's kind of important that you make the right drops in order to ensure your win this week and get to the next round in order to hopefully win your fantasy hockey trophy. Before we get into it, guys, drop a like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. A lot of you guys that are watching this channel are still not subscribed, so definitely do me a favor. Hit that button if I've helped you at all this year. And let's jump into it, guys, and let's take a look at some forwards that you might want to consider dropping. And first on the list, guys, is Matt Zuccarello of the Minnesota Wild at 77% rostered. And if you guys have watched this channel for more than just this year, you probably know that I absolutely love Zuccarello. He's one of my favorite players in the NHL, and I completely predicted his breakout season a couple of years ago where he just was unreal. Someone who I absolutely adore. Now, am I dropping Zuccarello if I don't have to? Absolutely not. He's definitely on a cold streak and it's rough to see, but he's still getting top line and top power play deployment with Kirill Kaprizov. The only reason I would consider dropping Zuccarello is because he only plays 2 games this week. And those 2 games are on Thursday and Saturday. So if you're super desperate and it doesn't look like you're going to be winning this week, and you're probably going to be benching Zuccarello on Thursday and Saturday anyway, it might be worth dropping Zuccarello for someone who you can actually fit in your lineup. And, you know, it's a desperation move. But sometimes that's the kind of move that you need to do to win the fantasy hockey trophy. Now, Lekkonen's another guy who you might have to consider dropping. I know he's been pretty good as of late, but with Nichushkin's return, Nichushkin has taken over power play 1 as well as top line duties in Colorado, leaving Artturi Lehkonen to second line and second power play duties. Nothing wrong with that, it just lowers his value significantly. So Lehkonen may actually be someone we might have to take a look at dropping, especially if after I record this video, he plays another game or 2 and doesn't do a whole lot of anything. Definitely someone you need to be dropping sooner rather than later because holding on to him is just going to hurt your team. Jonathan Huberdeau, as much as he's actually scoring points, his peripherals are pretty bad and the points aren't really enough to really justify owning him outside of super deep leagues. So definitely someone who's absolutely droppable if you need to. Calgary doesn't exactly have any off nights this week. So you may be benching Huberdeau this week anyway, so definitely would recommend dropping him to add someone for those off nights. Anders Lee of the New York Islanders. The Islanders also only play 2 games this week, guys, and they're on busy nights. And Anders Lee hasn't been particularly good either, so if you have him, I would definitely drop him. And finally, Sean Couturier has been very, very bad for a few weeks now and was actually a healthy scratch. So even if you're in a league holding him just for those faceoff wins, I might consider dropping him at this point because we don't want to be risking a player getting healthy scratch. And honestly, he hasn't been winning that many faceoffs as of late anyway. Jumping into defensemen now, Luke Hughes of the New Jersey Devil was the first guy I have on this list. And while he is scoring points somewhat frequently, his peripherals are really, really bad, guys. And remember, New Jersey plays 2 games only this week. Now, I don't mind holding Hughes for that one off night that they have this week. If you want to do that, that's fine. But honestly, Hughes is not really putting up many points, even when he is in your lineup. So definitely not my favorite option. For someone out there that you like a little bit better and would fit in your lineup, I would recommend dropping him for that player. Aaron Ekblad is injured, out for a couple weeks. He's already been out for 1 week, so it's possible that he returns in the fantasy finals or something like that. But honestly, Ekblad has been pretty useless all year anyway, so there's probably somebody better on your waiver wire. So if you don't have an IR spot, definitely don't hang on to him. Brock Faber of the Minnesota Wild, someone you can consider dropping as well. For some reason, they put Chisholm on their power play 1. And again, Minnesota only plays twice this week and on busy nights, so you may not be able to fit Faber in your lineup anyway. Yeah, I definitely don't mind dropping Faber for this week. Again, just like Zuccarello, and this is important, Minnesota actually has a really good schedule in the next week. So if you can avoid dropping these guys, avoid dropping these guys. But if you have to, you have to, unfortunately, to win the week. And they are definitely droppable. Jeremy Lozon is the same thing. He's been fantastic all year, especially with the hits and the other peripherals he's putting up. He's giving himself a very, very safe floor all year. But now he's out for multiple weeks, which means he's going to be missing probably the rest of the fantasy season, guys. So definitely an easy drop there, especially if you don't have an IR spot. If you need a replacement, guys, like I mentioned in my waiver wire video, Garnet Hathaway or even And Tanner Jeannot could be a banger's replacement for Jeremy Lauzon. And finally, Ryan Pulock of the New York Islanders. Once again, guys, Islanders only play a couple of games this week on busy nights. You're probably not going to be able to play Pulock anyway on those nights. Definitely an easy drop there for someone who you can actually get for maybe off nights. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. And I want to wish you all the best luck in your playoff matches this week. And hopefully, I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.